losgeht? Alles klar. Okay, ja, danke.
Ja, na klar. Was haben wir? Achso, ja.
Ich habe einen Fehler gemacht. Wir haben 2 Mikros.
Hallo? 1, 2,
Ups.
Hast du Line-Up da nochmal rausgekommen? Ich auch nicht. Ich habe mir das Line-Up auch noch mal gefunden.
Das interessiert mich ja auch nicht.
Achso, wir haben ja keine Maske auf, ne?
Nochmal schnell am Spickzettel gucken.
Ich habe mir das Line-Up nochmal.
Datum ist auch ganz blöd, wenn du bist.
Habe ich euch zu sehr unter Druck gesetzt oder so? Jetzt mit meinen Zetteln.
Dass ich in so einem Moment dann nicht mehr weiß, was schon offiziell Flyer ist und was nicht. Nee, Moment, warte. Das müssen wir nochmal neu machen.
Das geht jetzt aber nicht zu Ende verhandelt.
So then I say welcome everybody, welcome Florian, Rike, Christoph and Alex. I was just now thinking. Welcome to this panel. Thank you very much, Franz, and thank you very much, Waves Festival, for inviting us and giving us the opportunity to have this panel today. We are going to talk about some very interesting music festivals in Germany that are not like the usual suspects when we speak about music festivals in Germany, but you have a lot to tell about your work and about how you communicate and cooperate with each other, and how do you also network with your regional partners. I hope I have a lot of questions. I told you before I am really prepared, so I hope we're gonna have fun and also get some insights. First of all, I just want to present properly our speakers. Friederike, I begin with a lady, comes Friederike Tesch from Immegut Festival in Neustrelitz, which is in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, in the northeast of Germany. Welcome, Friederike. Then we have Christopher Horlitz. I keep on geographically. This is the artistic director from Fuchsbau Festival, Festival for Contemporary Issues, Art and Music. And it takes place in Hanover, in Lower Saxony, so a little bit more down the geographical axis. Then we have Florian Soll from Taubertal Festival. We're going now to Bavaria, near Nuremberg. Thank you for being here. And then we have Alex Hertel. I'm not going to say, well, maybe I should. I can also put the names and also your nickname, because I was very curious. Let's say it in Alex. From Summer Breeze Open Air Festival in Dinkelsbühl, also in Bavaria. And and I am Neus Lopez from the Initiative Musik, which is the funding and export office for the German music. And I'm responsible for export and infrastructure, and I'm very, very happy and very, very curious about what you will have to explain. First of all, I think I'm going to do like a small introduction. I'm going to show some slides, and maybe you can talk a little bit about your festival, because not everybody maybe has heard about your festivals, and I think it's a very good thing to put a little bit of context on this. I would begin with Immegut again, Rike. So you have here some figures. This is the 21st edition you had this year. And tell us a little bit about your festival.
Yeah, so I hope I do it right with the microphone. It was our 21st edition, which was supposed to be last year, but due to Corona, we didn't have a festival last year. And we actually take place in the end of May, but this year was end of August due to Corona. And we actually have 5,000, but this year was 3,000, so everything was a bit different this year. But still, it was in the alternative festival, which we are since 21 years. of Germany. You already said, in the middle of Berlin and Baltic Sea. Actually.
Yeah, and when I was asking you prior to this meeting, which is special about your festival, you just note some words that I put down here, like next generation of volunteers, because the festival has been running for 21 editions. So I guess you weren't at the first organizing this. So tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of the second and third generation, I would say. I'm there for 15 years now. And yeah, it's one of our focus because we're a non-profit festival, which is really important. So we're doing all next to our real lives. Yeah, and we need young people to come next because we are all around 30. So yeah, we get old, we have careers, and yeah. So we are doing this actually pretty well because we have a project course in our school, and we are teaching how to do festival. And then we take the people that are really good in this course and then get them to do the festival.
So you're working on the next generation already. Oh, this is interesting. And also this regionality and sustainability in the production and in the organizing of the festival also plays a very important role at Immegut.
It did always, but we also have a sustainability team now, but it was always a thing. We have all our partners from the region, from our state at least, and yeah, it's just the main focus of our festival.
Mm-hmm. We can see now a couple of pictures about the festival and some panels. The video we're going to skip because the technique is not working as smooth as I wanted, but at least you have 3. The next one comes for this. So thank you very much. I hope this makes a first idea. Then we're going to Hanover, and then I would like to ask Christopher about tell us a little bit about your festival, because I just saw that you say, okay, you are doing electronic pop and experimental music, but also contemporary issues, politics, art. So it's a little bit more than only music. What was the idea when you began running this festival?
Sure. Yeah. It's Fuchsbau has been developing a lot over the years. We're running into our 10th year right now, so it's been around for quite some time. I mean, not as long as the Immegut has been around forever. But I think what's special about it is that it's not just a music festival, but each year has a theme to it, and then we develop content around it, ranging from performances to music to art to panels, and so on and so forth. And so it's a really varied program you've got going on, and it's a pretty international lineup, but we've also got a lot of local acts from different disciplines. And here you can see some raving, I would call it, but we also have bands. We've had classical symphony orchestras at the festival, and it's as small as Immegut was this year, so we're only 3,000 people, so it's really intimate, running for 3 days with camping, usually in August. We had 2 years of break now. We didn't do a festival either this year, unfortunately. We moved it to 2022, but yeah, I guess here you can also see that we also do a lot of visual arts through it, and this is usually a projection area. I think this is Leo Porcelain playing a couple of years ago. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, yeah, so I think this, because I was when I was searching and researching about your festival. The 2019 edition, it has a motto which was Supermarkt. So you also take this philosophical or these political issues to make a leitmotif for the programming of your festival.
Yeah, that's right. So each year has a topic, and the last edition, 2019, was Supermarket, and it revolved all around, well, capitalism vaguely, but we also looked into how what makes pop music commercial, what is so things like that, but also going into just politics essentially in panels, but also in the music.
And when do you make the next edition? Do you have already the topic?
So we have an event series running right now. So it's not a festival in the sense, but it's multiple events over multiple weekends, and it revolves around the politics of wellness. So it's like, how does the wellness industry work, but also how can we use wellness issues for us and for change. And in October we have a big programming coming up with a spatial sound installation. So there's going to be a lot of sound baths, and we have a lot of like artists commissioned to work in this spatial sound installation.
Very, very spannend, interesting. Sometimes words have to come in another language. Then I would say let's have now Florian. Tell us a little bit about Taubertal festival, because this is also not quite a new festival. It has been running a little bit already, and well, I have here Rottenburg ob der Tauber. For those who doesn't know this is a very beautiful town in Bavaria.
Yeah, it's probably as touristic as Vienna, I guess.
Yes.
When there is no global pandemic, I think we have around 3 million visitors with 10,000 inhabitants in the city. Our festival was founded in 1996, so we were supposed to have our 25th anniversary last year, which did not happen. It did not happen this year either. We hope we can proceed next year. In general, we are a very, let's say, small festival that is also big. We define ourselves as the club show of the festivals. We have quite big names. In the past we had bands like Pink, Die Toten Hosen, Placebo, you name it, which is quite unusual for a lineup, quite unusual lineup for a festival that is sized as ours. So as a visitor you can get pretty close, especially when you look at the location. It's in the Tauber Valley. Maybe we have a picture.
Yeah.
We have visual art as well. It's the medieval town of Rothenburg as the backdrop of our festival. And so it's all about being close to artists, being close to the promoter as well, and being close to each other. We are a festival where you can come and enjoy the time of your life.
Yeah, here we can see the beautiful city of Rothenburg. Yes. Thank you very much for this introduction. And then we go a little bit farther in Bavaria to Dinkelsbühl. It's also a very nice city. I was there last year.
It is.
Yes. And you also had to have your anniversary, but it also got cancelled because of Corona. So
yeah, we count the years instead of the editions. So for us, the anniversary will be in 2022 because the company was founded, or the festival was founded in 1997. It was a classic case of a guy in a band that wanted to play in a festival. So our nowadays boss Achim decided we're going to make a festival, and that was 1997. And 25 years later, we are now in Dinkelsbühl having a big metal and rock festival with international artists and international guests.
Yeah, this is really very impressive. 40,000. It's. I just took the Summer Breeze flyer for next year.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
You can make, but
right.
It's very nice, and I think this picture says also a lot. Is this? I think.
This must be the. Yeah, there must be the aerial picture from 2018. I think. Yeah, it's 2018. That shows our festival site and the camping area, as it's usual in, I would say, rock and roll and metal community. People like to camp but like to stay the whole time. People arrive usually on Wednesday and stay until Saturday night or Sunday. That's a departure day. So the 40,000 guests, most of them stay at the site and celebrate the 4 days. Yeah, that's like our main stage, the biggest of our 4 stages, and usually at night the place is packed and people are there enjoying the shows.
Yes, and I hope that we will soon again be able to do like some more
Yeah,
pit dancing.
that's what we all want to go back to. Singing, dancing, having a good time. People of all kinds coming together. We love to see especially the effect the festival has on the guests. Many fans write us every year that it's their most valued moment in the calendar, and they are very sorry to have to sit it out until it's possible again.
Yeah, I think everybody is counting the days when we can
Absolutely.
go back. Let me switch up because we're done with the presentation part, so I just would say let's go and have a little bit of talk. But thank you very much for this introduction to your festivals, because I think many of our audience heard about some of you, but not all. And I just wanted, the idea of this conversation today is to know a little bit more about how do you work. You are very different from the genre and also from the size and from the history. Maybe one of the questions would be for the three ones that are more old festivals. I don't know if you have been personally since the beginning there, but do you think there has been like a change in the festival landscape or in the audience when they go to your festival? Are they looking for the same that they were looking like 25 years ago, or how has it evolved your festival?
Yeah. Regarding the audience, one thing really changed. When I started out, nobody would ever had asked for a shower on 4 festival days, which did not mean there were no showers, but the infrastructure and the level of comfort the audience is demanding is getting higher and higher. So we adapt and raise the standards. This is probably, from the audience perspective, I guess, a most interesting point. And I think music genres are not that separated anymore. You can be a metalhead and enjoy a hip-hop band, which probably has changed. When I started out, you would have got beaten up by the metal guys if you showed up in a hip-hop shirt. So, which means that the festival is more diverse, I guess, and the level of organization needed and the level of comfort is definitely rising.
Would the other ones agree also?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah, production-wise, I can't say anything. I mean, I do production now, but I didn't do it then, so I can't say anything about that. But I think that like the festival landscape is like much bigger than 20 years ago, and we were like this first, or not the first. I mean, there are 3 big alternative festivals, and they are all 2. But it was so like everybody knew Immegut in the past. That's at least what they tell me, and what I can read in the old newspapers. And there's so much more. There are so many more festivals now, so it's much harder to sell tickets, to be like special, unique, stuff like that.
But for Immegut was this aspect of sustainability was always have been like playing an important role, and maybe now you're attracting some other kind of audience that maybe 20 years ago wouldn't have been thinking about.
I do think that it's a really important fact to sell tickets in the future, even already now, but also in the future. Like if you don't pay attention to that, I think you won't be on the landscape.
Do you have, for all of you, do you have like usual customers, people that has been going to the festival since the beginning, or how would you say is the percentage of people that really keep coming, or is more like a young audience? Is it a mix? How is it in your case?
Yeah, with us, it's we have a very high number of returning customers, so to speak. People tend to come for at least 5 years in a row, or even more. We have guests that have actually witnessed the birth of the festival and are still there with some breaks in between, like when they maybe had a child or something, and then 1 year they paused, and then the next year they are back. We even run programs that would support something like this. We have a club. It's like a fan club. It's called Club 666, and of course, and where you can purchase your ticket for 3 years. So you don't have any price change in the ticket. You decide to buy a ticket for the next 3 years, and then no higher fees. If, for example, a pandemic comes along and the ticket has to be more expensive in the next year, you're free of that. And then, of course, there's goodies and special events and special merchandise for these people in the club. And it's a thing that every year sells out. It's always limited to 666 memberships, and that works really good. And also we see, that's the thing that we really like, is that people, even though it's a 40,000 cap festival, people seem to know each other because they meet each other every year. And some even say, oh, it's the same tent neighbors again from last year, because you can reserve certain areas of the camping ground where you have your camping spot, and you can kind of be sure that the guys from last year are going to be your neighbors again. And so they meet each other every year, and communities are built a little bit inside the camping ground.
It's like a small family reunion then.
Kind of, yeah. That's what they tell us. It's a nice effect. It's cool.
Do you also have in your festivals like some kind of fidelity thing?
Sure. I think since we're much younger, we don't yet have people buying tickets for 3 years, you know. Mm-hmm. But I think we definitely have people that have come over and over and over again. But at the same time, our festival since the first year that we did it in 2012 has changed in its programming quite a bit. So I do think that we're attracting new people to the programming that we do now. Then we were very regional, very small in 2012. So on a path to finding itself, I think we've also attracted sometimes a different crowd. But I do know people that come every year, particularly people from Hanover, essentially, to whom this is the only festival that has been happening there.
Okay, and how do you engage with especially with your local audience or your regional audience? Because I guess some of you have also guests that come from all over Germany or all over the world. But which do you use the input or the feedback that they give you to say, okay, next year we're going to change something in our program or in our booking, or we're going to set up a new project because our audience is telling us this? Do you have like this exchange?
Not only with the regional audience, but with all. We have the normal survey thing. We just send it out, and this is really important to create the next festival. But social media, email, newsletter, whatever feedback. Yeah, we have a big exchange there.
And people's also active responding. And when you are then booking, I think not everybody of you is really booking. I mean, maybe this is a question for you, Christopher. I think the other ones glance at you. This is maybe like a very standard question, but how do you try to keep the balance? How do you approach when you are thinking about making the booking for the next festival? Is there a balance between established acts and also newcomer acts? If I am a newcomer band, can I come to your festival? Do I have a chance, or do you need to have like only big names to be able to survive?
Yeah, I think we're absolutely about that balance. So I mean, how our booking process works is that it starts really early, essentially before the old festival has happened. But we do go to a bunch of festivals like this one, like Waves Vienna. But not only showcase festival, but also like experimental festivals and other just like events where we can gather a lot of live acts in a short amount of time. But that's also a chance for new bands to come into the festival market, essentially, right? But we also have a portal where you can apply for any discipline, but it's mostly musicians that do apply, and so we. And which is real interesting because we have had a lot of acts actually just that have applied to our application portal that hadn't really played these kind of, let's say, industry events before, but were really good, and like a couple of years later you do see them up there, which is always a great feeling. Plus, we do put a focus on gathering acts from Hanover, because I think we're really international, so we do have a bunch of international touring artists, and then it's always, every time I see a band in Hanover that kind of fits our program, I'm like, bookmark, and at some point it might just fit the program.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And it does, right now we are also talking about a lot of about gender equality, diversity. Does this play a role when you are thinking about doing your booking?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've kind of like moved across the diversity spectrum. Let's say, I feel like many years ago, we started looking into like a diverse a parallel, so like 50-50 gender equality concerning women. But I think now it's more of a that we really want a diverse program and team and crowd, you know. So it goes. It's like the whole project is involved in that question, I think. But I think you can really see that on stage we really want to put people with different positions, with different backgrounds, with different vibes, you know. And I think that goes together with not having only white men playing the stage.
How is it at the others? Does this gender balance, is this something you consider about as a festival or not?
Well, the easy answer is it's about the good bands and not about the gender of the members playing in the bands, but it depends a bit on the genre at the moment. It's certainly a topic we try to address, but I found that there is a lack of possibilities, especially in the headliner range, to really fulfill this, and we all have to build up on that. So the same is with newcomers. I guess no festival can go without giving newcomer a possibility to play, because we will run out of big names if we don't contribute to build them up. And so we have to build the big names with hopefully a diverse lineup in their group.
How is it at the Summer Breeze?
Yeah,
are
in
there many female bands?
I have to agree to you. The easy answer is always it has to be about the band. It has to be about the artist. We actually asked that question in the survey, and the answer was with, I think, close to 90% that people don't care as long as the artist is great and they see the female bands in the same way they see male bands or mixed bands or whatever. In all fairness, I have to say the audience is about 64% male and then 35% female, 1% diverse. I don't know if that, you know what I mean, if that
that
statistic
may have
is
also
trustable.
an effect in the survey.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Yeah, this may maybe have an effect in the...
Right. So I think to me personally, I really just go watch the artist, the band. I know a bunch of female bands, all female or partly female bands, whatever. They are killing it. To me it doesn't matter. I'm just watching the show, right? What we do also is we try to book diverse in the sense of we don't only want to book American big names. We don't only want to book the biggest German names. We do have guests coming in from, let's say, 2018, I think. We had a band from Malaysia playing because they were just so eager to play. They just wanted to play. They didn't want money. They didn't want a hotel. They just wanted to play. So we gave them a stage. They played, and they loved it. They had the time of their lives. It was fantastic, which also goes a little bit into the support newcomers thing. We want to have a diversified billing as good as it is possible, and there's options. I mean, and maybe also what we have to say, not every year every band is available. It's becoming more and more crazy how these bands are planned for 3 years in advance, and you can't even book everything you want to book because bands have schedules and they have to how can I say, they have to serve different markets, and if their bookers plan them to play in Europe in that year, good, you have a chance. But if they plan them to play in South America and the US, then they are not going to show up. That's the thing.
Does this affect, maybe before we go back to, because I also want to know what Rick says about this issue, but maybe the next question for after, does the concentration of very big festivals that are getting bought by like investment companies and then are also having this effect, does this also affect you, even if you are maybe also working with regional bands? So this has also...
of course. Yeah. And what she said before, we have way more festivals than 20 years ago, but we do not have way more potential headliners for all these festivals, and that raises the fees enormously. And there's a tremendous shift in how big names make their money. And they 20 years ago they went out to promote their records, and now it's the exact opposite way. And it makes it pretty challenging, I guess.
Okay. How is it about when do you think about diversity and gender equality?
Yeah, I wanted to say something to the gender question. So it's a topic for us, of course, and it's not only the binary or what Christopher just said. It's everything, and it's the crowd, and it's the team. I mean, like, no offense, but look at panels, you know. It's also, yeah, it's everything. And I mean, I think we reached like a balance this year, which is pretty nice. But there's like more to come. And of course, it's about the bands. Of course, it's about the quality of the bands. But we must admit that there is a glass ceiling for people in this world, and yeah, we need to build them up. We need to support them. Yeah, and that's the only way you can do it. And you will have headliners then.
Yeah. So you see that festivals can also do something for this, like building.
You will not find a booker that will book a bad band only because
No,
there's a female singer. That's not the point. But
maybe
the
they're
point
not
is,
bad, you know. Maybe they're
that's the point.
seen
So
differently.
just be a good band and you will make it.
Yeah, but you just mentioned, Florian, money. So let's stick to money. How do you get this thing done? Do you have, because Immegut is like a association? Do you have? Are you private companies? Are you like associations? Do you get funding? How is the support at the regional level? Do you have? How is also the connection to the? Not only to the audience, but also to the cities where you are, to the regions, to the Bundesländer, to the federal states. Do they give any support, logistical or economical?
Big question. Yeah, so we are non-profit. I think we both non-profit, you commercial, right? Yeah. So fundings is the one answer, because we try to be a festival that is accessible for most of the people. Actually, we got the feedback this year that we were too cheap on the beer was too cheap. So we really tried to make it accessible, and that's why we don't earn so much money with tickets and catering. So we need fundings. Initiative Musik is of course a nice partner since some years, and but also Neustadt Kultur, like with Corona, we had like tons of papers and bureaucracy. Thanks to one person in our team who's really into this, we could finance the last year.
So
it's
nothing.
But also like talking about city and stuff, they're really supporting us. We're 20 years now. Like if they don't support you, you wouldn't do the festival there. But there's like, we are East Germany. There's no money, so there's no like financial support in this.
I can also speak to our funding. I mean, we do have public funding in our festival, but I think it's also because we are also an arts festival, and like that whole programming would not finance itself without public funding, essentially. Plus, we're also while trying to be accessible in prices. We've never gotten the feedback that our beer is too cheap. No, I find it to be pretty cheap. Maybe we can discuss this later, your prices. But I think also what comes with that is that we do obviously work less with headliners, which also gives us the opportunity to book really the bands that we think are amazing, and despite their gender and race, etc., but I think it comes with the responsibility to actually do that, which is really at the core of what we do. And so it's we also need to sell tickets. Really, we need to sell tickets to fund our event, but I also think it's about creating a great programming, which to us always has this diversity aspect.
Mm-hmm. So in the north, it's more like public funding structure, also smaller festivals, and in Bavaria, there's.
I do think it is really a different funding landscape, though. Maybe I can talk to that, because like Lower Saxony has there's a different kind of money than there is in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. So maybe it's not the north, but
maybe it's just a coincidence. You're right.
Well, we are a private company, and we need to make money.
So it was since the beginning like this?
Yes, it started out. That said, if you really want to go for money, don't go into festivals in the end. It's very challenging, and we have a good standing that we developed from the beginning, and but it's not easy money, I guess. No. So, and there are so many. Maybe we talk about that anyways, but there are so many different factors that we have to rely on, and we mostly rely on ticket sales and sponsoring money, of course. But we try to calculate within ticket sales and a certain percentage of sponsoring fees to not only rely on a short-term sponsor to make it happen year after year.
Yeah. So we are obviously also a commercial company. Even though we are a small company, 16 full-time employees that do the planning of the festival the whole year round. The problem is, you asked it before in a different context, when you are a private company and you're not backed by a big investor, like the really big festivals that we have, for example, Rock am Ring, Rock im Park, there's big companies behind them. That means if there's a pandemic like this, it's easy for a festival like this to say we're going to sit out a year, but for us it's really...
This was going to be my next question.
Oh,
No.
No,
I mean,
saying,
it's good that you bring it.
just saying, for that reason, it's now in the second year, it's kind of getting juicy now, and we do rely a lot on our ticket sales. Even though I have to say, oftentimes for festivals, the tickets only is not going to fix your expenses, because production and everything that is happening on that field is very expensive, especially if you are a festival that builds, basically with 40,000 people, we are building a small city on a field that is usually crops, corn, cows, or just grass. And everyone wants to sleep, everyone wants to eat, everyone needs water, everyone has to go to the bathroom. Everything that has to be built, and that is very, very expensive. So yeah, it is a tricky thing, the money question, but yeah, with sponsors and other incomes, merchandise is also for us a very important thing, because we can generate that the whole year around, and especially on the festival, people are going crazy for merchandise, which is another income strain that helps to cover the general costs. And then the link to the booking is also tricky, because like for Summer Breeze, for example, we don't work with big headliners. We don't have the Metallica or Iron Maidens that everyone would know, even though we have big names in the subgenres. So metal is a music genre that likes to make little pieces out of the big genre name and put it in tiny little subgenres. And within the subgenres, we try to offer the most important acts, and that seems to work good, because people say they like to come to our festival because they buy a ticket and they see 10, 15, 20 bands they want to see. And not only that one big name and some other artists that are not really related to the main artist, like it's often in let's say, a one-day stadium show or something like this. And yeah, if you don't have the big companies in the back that are sponsoring your booking, then it's really hard nowadays to pay these bigger names, because bands don't earn shitloads of money anymore selling CDs. They have to make their income through playing live and selling merch. And that's a little bit the tricky situation we are in, because booking fees are getting higher, higher, and yet we try to offer a cheap ticket price, because we don't want to go to 300 euros for 3 days, 4 days of festival. We want to stay below 200, around the 200 euro price range, roundabout, plus minus, depending on what COVID brings us in the future. But you know, if the festival is supposed to be accessible for young people, for like kids in school, students, everyone, families, who we even have families coming, two kids, mom and dad are coming to the festival. If they want to pay 4 tickets, it's a lot of money, so that we want to keep it accessible, and that's really hard if all the fees are skyrocketing at the moment. Yeah.
So it's
interesting times.
Yeah, and how is it, especially? I mean, sooner or later we'll have to talk about Corona, which we can't avoid it, I think. But before another question: how is the relationship with your cities or with your region? I mean, if you say I'm going to put here in this land crop, a festival for 4,000, how do you convince the city and the owner of the land crop that I'm going to bring some metalheads?
With statistics, I'm going to say, because
okay.
and maybe the farmers, they are easily convinced, because they know they don't have so much work to work their land, but they're going to get a good fee for it, so it's profitable for them. And the city, it's I have an example from a statistic that we pulled recently, is that from the year on that Summer Breeze is situated in Dinkelsbühl, the tourism rate went up over 400% for the area, the income through tourism. So they have a big interest in us being there, but I don't want to say they're only interested in that. We have a very good relationship with the mayor in Dinkelsbühl. It's actually a friendship now. We are invited to every major meetings that would concern us in any way. The chief of police talks to us directly, the firefighters talk to us directly, German Red Cross. It's a very good relationship with all of the authorities, very locally in Dinkelsbühl. If we look to Bavaria, it's a different story, but I think that will be the political part if you have questions.
Well, I think Florian had also something to say about the Bavarian part. How is it in Rothenburg, and how is it in Bavaria for you? Do you agree?
Most Alex said, relates to us as well, because we are neighbors. Dinkelsbühl is like 40 minutes from Rothenburg, and the local government is the same. On a very local aspect, we are having very good relationship with everyone. It grew over the time, and as I said in the beginning, Rothenburg being a very touristic city, it's also an image thing. I mean, we bring a younger audience, and they come back, and you see it by all their
wristbands.
You see them all over the year. They come back, even when they later don't go to the festival. Well, they come, and we don't measure maybe that proper statistics as you, but it's the same.
But maybe it's a good idea to do.
Yeah, totally. But the relationship is very positive.
And how is between you within the festivals? Because you have 2 very different festivals from the genre. Do you communicate, besides when I bring you together in Vienna? Do you have also like a network of communication, or do you join forces if you say, okay, in Bavaria there are some things that should change? Or the question is also for you, how is it in your cities, and how is this connection also between music festivals?
You will not survive on your own. You have to build a network. And interchange with ideas and discuss the challenges we all have in the end. Regarding Summer Breeze, it's really like when you move close to us. The relationship got closer, and it's probably a very small scene in the end. There are certain events like this in Germany and in Netherlands, and you all know the names, and you meet certain people. So go there often, and after a while you know the people, and then you start to network and communicate.
Yeah, we also have Alliance in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. We just founded it, so we talk to each other there and we help out, and it's really, really nice. But also, I think like in whole Germany, that's what we talked about before. There's this new initiative company, whatever it's called, Höhm, and Höhm for festivals, and they organized some events like Festival Playground, where they invited 80 festivals to make a festival together and to have like workshops and to exchange ideas and to talk about sustainability, diversity, all these topics. And it was the first time, I think, that happened in Germany, and it was really great feedback. And what they also did, they asked they did a survey, and I think 35,000 festival guests or something did this survey. So we had like numbers from so many people about like, for example, are you like, is it a thing for you if there's a man or a woman on stage or whatever, all these questions. And yeah, so that was a big networking thing, I think, and I think it will be in the future too.
Yeah, I think it always happens on different levels, right? So for us, I think it starts in Hanover with different cultural initiatives and different also maybe festivals from other spheres, let's say, that don't actually even put up that big of a production as we do, but they're subjected to the same political scenes. And then it's Lower Saxony, and then yeah, I think it's these initiatives like Höhm or the Festival Kombinat, which was before there, and so I think it's also particularly during Corona, everybody got together and was like, how are you doing this? Yeah. What are your rules? What are your tricks? Yeah. Are you happening? Where's your funding coming from?
What Corona test are you using?
Exactly. So we've been sitting in so many groups trying to figure this out because we were all in this together. We were before, but that was like a very unique moment, of course.
So
slowly moved back.
Maybe. It's like a wave. We are just at the Waves Festival, so it happens to say a lot. And some of you, I think, Volkswagen not yet, but the other ones, you are also part of international networks because Immegut, Taubertal, and Summer Breeze are also part of the ETEP Festival program, European Talent Exchange program. And then there are a lot of European bands performing in Eurosonic every year in January. Last year was only digital, but we hope that next year there will be also some bands playing again live. How does this participation in these international networks help you in your work, also like connecting not only with national but also with international? Or what are you looking, or what is the profit or the gain for you to being part of such a festival network on the European level?
Yeah, basically exchange of information and like best practices. It's super helpful to hear from other festivals how they overcome a specific problem. I mean, now back to Corona, unfortunately, it's the best example. We didn't only have different situations in different European countries, but also within Germany, within the different states, which makes you crazy. Mm-hmm. It's really the weirdest situation that you can basically hop in your car, drive 5 minutes from Baden-Württemberg to Bavaria, and then there you have different rules and different things to follow. And that was very important to stay up to date because things changed very quickly. Regulations were brought out almost every month. If you are in different, let's say, workshops and circles to exchange and to share information, that really helps you forward. We are, because our company building is situated in Baden-Württemberg, but the festival takes place in Bavaria, so we were in both of these working groups, and it's on a political level, it's very crazy or interesting to see how in the one state people are so much further ahead and actually planning with scenarios and getting communication, like getting an exchange with the political level, but in Bavaria, people seem to be sleeping or ignoring us. That is very worthy information for us.
But ITEP is also this, like, that we use this every year, that you, there's this pool of bands and you can book them and then you get some money back from the program. So that's really nice. That gives us the chance, like we talked about, raising fees to book these bands, and that's really
So
nice.
it's not only about exchanging information, but also discovering new bands and also getting the chance with this financial support for the program, which is funded also by the European Union. So you can also maybe program some bands that you wouldn't then be able to do. Florian, do you want to comment on this situation about the different regulations about Corona? Because how did you deal? I mean, I know from Immegut that they have been doing, like, I don't know, and probably all of you, 55,000 plans about every possible scenario and case. Changing. How do you organize a festival, or how do you look to the future? What do you think that will change?
I think I have to give this to Alex, because they did a tremendous job right from the start in really digging deep into concepts and how to proceed with events in general and big events in specific. And you really, the book you wrote, it's that big, and it's...
Tell us about the
really
book, because
amazing.
I think not everybody knows what kind of
really
book this
amazing
is.
Piece of work, because there's a lot of solutions for problems in there, and I have to give this to Alex.
We want to know more, Alex, about the book.
Okay, in October last year, we sat down and we thought about how the situation is. I mentioned before that, especially in Germany, we have the problem with the feudal system, and every state basically is responsible for interpreting the laws that are sent out. So that's how in every state you have different regulations, and so on and so on. The thought behind creating a concept for big events, how to deal with the pandemic situation, was that it doesn't help if only our festival takes place. It has to be a solution that works for every festival, no matter the genre, no matter the state you are in, all sizes. And it has to be scalable from, let's say, a 5,000 or 1,000 capacity to a very big capacity. So basically what we did is we created a team internally, and then we took a lot of experts from the outside, from different fields like medicine, from like the authorities like police, fire department, the German Red Cross. We had 2 specialists from universities that are they were looking at the socio-cultural aspect of festivals and events. What does it have to do with what does it do with people's psyche, and what does it do with people's life if festivals are gone, or events in general? So we put several months of work into it, gathered information, got all the statistics we could get, also from an ecological point of view, like all the money behind a big event like this, what does it mean for the city it's taking place in, etc., etc. And the end product is a infection prevention concept for big events or events in general, that covers possible solutions for problems that are related to a pandemic situation. The thing got quite huge. It was, I think, 120 pages long, and we decided to go publicly to all the, to all the institutions and contacts and persons in charge. So we addressed it. At first, at Dr. Markus Söder, the Minister of Bavaria, and also addressed it to the German Health Department, sent it to Berlin, even to Angela Merkel's office. So around about 50 to 60 versions of this concept were sent out to politics, institutions, etc. it was a big shot, and we hoped that a solution for this year would come out of it. So far, we have helped smaller festivals take place with this concept that was also provided open source, so everyone could pull it and use it for their own event. It was luckily funded by Initiative Musik, so you can't do something like this on your own schedule, obviously. For our festival, it didn't work out for several reasons. One of the reasons is we are situated in Bavaria and things are not as open and communicative as we would have wished. For example, the country of Luxembourg got in contact with us, the official health department of Luxembourg, and asked if they can use our concept to restart events in their country, which for us, of course, is amazing. It's wonderful.
So
that's what it was.
This means you've been sending this to the German Department of Health, but you didn't get like a response. But Luxembourg said.
Yes. We got a generic email back, like thanks, and we will check it and we will look into it. But Luxembourg actually called our office and said, "It's great what you did there. Why does no one pay attention? Can we have it? Can we use it?" And then we sent the full version with, of course, with the disclosure, send it over. And they, as far as I'm informed, events took place.
Oh. And if there is someone here in the audience, I think we have like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. So maybe we'll also give the opportunity to the audience to make, because I really use all my cards. But if a last question from me, if anybody says, I want to take a look at this book that you have produced, is it on your website, or shall I contact you, or how do I get this information?
There's a public version out there. I do not know the URL.
But we can Google.
But I could.
After the pandemic, we can Google and Zoom.
I can provide it. You can talk to me if you're interested. I can send the version or the link over. No problem.
Great. Time is running up. We still have like 3 minutes. I don't know if one of you has like a question for one of them. We have a microphone as well. So.
We're supposed to come up, right?
Yeah.
That
would be great.
Yeah, thank you for the... Is this working?
No.
It's working. Okay, it's just for the... I feel tiny now. Thank you. Thank you for this very interesting panel. And Florian, you said something that I wrote it down and I cannot leave it uncommented. Do you really think that if you are a good musician, you'll make it, and that's all there is to it?
Of course not. But it's the bass line you have to...
Is it though?
I hope so, yes.
Because...
Okay.
No, please.
No, go ahead with your question.
I just wanted to say that as a non-white, non-male musician, it's quite hard to become a headliner. It's quite hard to have the stage, to get the stage, to get to be a headliner. So I would say it's part of the responsibility of a festival, of a booker, to make sure that people who do not usually get the stage, that they get it.
I totally agree with that, and it's the responsibility of every promoter to make sure that new bands can approach. But to get on the landscape of these people, it helps to be a good band. That's what I meant.
Of course. I'm not talking about bad musicians or anything, but I just wanted to note that it's not that easy.
No, of course not.
And
there's
that
no
was,
automatism
that was
between...
just
there's no
really important, because if you're a good band, you'll make it.
No, of course not.
I think this would be like a good question.
If you don't get the confidence within your band that you are a good band, you will not make it either.
It doesn't
there's no automatic following in being a good band and breaking through. That's true.
It takes a little bit more, but I think we're going to to push the time over because we have to.
We can discuss this.
Yes, I think maybe afterwards we can.
I think there's a panel coming up on this later this afternoon, actually.
You see, so.
Very nice. Okay.
Is there any other question before our master says time is running off? If not, I just would like to say thank you very much for all of you to come here to Vienna and to share your knowledge and your experience with us. It was great meeting you in person and also getting to know a little bit more about your festivals and also about the festival landscape in Germany. Thank you very much, and now to the next point.
Thanks so much for having me.
Ich habe die ganze Zeit gedacht, wir haben um 11.